Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Storm King's Thunder. Episode Everyone Begin to Dab 69.
I'm not dabbing. That's fucking retarded.
Okay, you don't get inspiration tonight. Everyone else
Good.
gets a D4. A D4 for dabbing.
A D69 inspiration.
No, you don't get a D69. You get a D4.
Dude, I did a Jim Carrey joke. I think I'm okay.
Good. So, where our beloved party last left off, they went shopping! Aside from going shopping, there was also an enormous frost giant ship that could fly in the sky, but no, they were focused on shopping. They're at that CR that they're just like, yeah, fuck it.
Fuck.
Some subplot about the end of the world, an ancient blue dragon.
Yep, same shit as
Some
always.
frost giants working with the storm giant king that's now working with people, and they're all working together, and they're all about to meet up in this city, and now they're going to try and be diplomatic. The usual. Carlos, you were muted, and I could still get that, and it was beautiful.
I think everybody could get that.
Also, some people were really liking things and getting rings, so who knows.
Go to the chapel and maybe get... Not saying the word yet.
So, besides those lesbians being adorable, girls, the fucking thing. You have all arrived in Fandolin. What would you all like to do?
Believe everybody was going to bed.
What time of day is it?
I was about to say.
It's afternoon, evening, right?
Afternoon, yeah.
Okay. And the meeting is 3 days? Because they're walking, takes them 3 days.
3 days
right?
from now. 2 days, really.
Okay.
We should
I'm
probably
gonna-
go talk to somebody. I don't know who, but we should probably go talk to them.
I'm gonna start putting up streamers.
I'll help.
I'm
Priorities.
heading up to the house.
I'm going with Varys.
You're going up to your mansion.
Yes.
The
This house
mansion
that
that
we've
you...
owned forever.
And we've
The
never been
mountain-
to.
The mansion you were given due to your aid in restoring the lost mines of Fandolvar and aiding the small town, now bustling village of Fandolin. So, how about you all take a look at... Now, bear in mind, it does have a title above it. I didn't have time to Photoshop that out. But we can make believe.
You suck.
Just as a note, we've had this mansion for 2 IRL years. We've never been
there.
Maybe
We've
like
had-
maybe
we've
like 8 or 9.
It's been 2 years!
since 2016.
It's been 2 fucking
And we've never been here.
We've owned
It's
it
probably
for-
been.
How have I done this for 2 fucking years?
We've probably owned
You've done it for
about.
3.5.
I think we've owned it for about 6 months in game.
Well, no, it was
It's way
7
funnier
months.
if I'm using my hand to emote, by the way.
It was a 7-month
10 miles
downtime.
ahead.
There was a 6 month downtime,
6 months.
and we've had
Was it
about a
6 or
month. No, it was 6, and we've had about a month gameplay since that resumed. So it's probably about 7 months that we've owned
We
it.
started SKT on the 12th of October 2016. For reference. And we had that house before that.
A bunch of children!
Right, let's go in this fucking house.
My mistake!
Breathe.
Oh god. Yes, so now that I've had that massive mindfuck of how long this has actually been going on,
Yeah.
those of you who are making your way up towards the now very well refurbished, clearly still has some, for lack of a better term, building dust on it, by which I mean when it's been rebuilt there's still that dust of work left to front it. But here is the mansion of the Defenders of Pharaoh.
Can I just make this joke? Let's go through the keyhole.
Yep.
Yep.
This is Merchant Prince.
It's time for everyone to call dibs on what rooms they want.
I can't see the numbers. Hang on, I need to make it bigger.
Number 12.
There we go.
Damn it, I was about to say 12.
That is the room of the mothers of the house.
Yes.
So they
I'll
get
have-
12.
I'll have number 4 then.
Oh, shit.
It's closer to the greenery.
I will have.
I mean, if you
I
have
guess then-
well, if you two are in 12, then you have a balcony that's close to the greenery.
Well, then we have to jump out the balcony to get to the.
I want.
Yeah, it's only 5 feet.
Dude.
I
can
want
comfortably
the
jump
little
on that
one
story,
by
actually.
number 15. I don't
I feel like I should be. I should feel
That's
like
a
I
hallway.
should write this
Smallest
down.
room in the house.
I don't even see it.
No, 15 is a hallway.
Oh yeah, that's like a guest quarters.
No, I'll take 11.
I feel like I should
Area
be writing
11?
this down.
Ah.
Hey.
There's 2 11s though,
The one on the. Oh,
Left-
no, I mean
left
the one on the
11?
left.
or bottom 11. Bottom left or top left? 11.
The one with the cushion.
Darius, are you a bottom 11 or are you a top 11?
No
Or
comment.
are you legs 11?
Kirak and Tian are having 16.
That's fair.
I'll just bed down wherever.
That way you get a lovely birdhouse.
Yeah, it's just the roof, but it's got what looks like a bird bath on it for
Wait,
some
which one
reason.
did you say?
16.
16.
Which
I'm
is,
writing this down for reasons unknown.
16 is just the roof as far as I can see, but there's
Yeah.
water on there.
I mean, sure.
I'll be taking 7.
You're just taking the sauna.
Yeah.
Is it water or is
Wisdom.
it
I'm
a
taking
skylight?
the 9! No, not really.
Blue, is it water or is it like a skylight?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd say it's
it'd be like a
wherever. I'm going to say it's a big ass birdhouse.
It's above the kitchen, which means it will be warm underfoot.
I'm going to say it's a
True.
big ass bird bath. That's what I'm going to say. It's a big ass bird
Yeah,
bath.
They'll,
no, I
put,
think
they'll
BBB.
build an extension on it. Give them like a
It was-
week,
it
and
was
they'll have
built-
built a nest.
It's a BABB.
Give them
Big
a
ass
week, and they'll
bird
have built a nest on there. The kitchen underneath will keep it warm.
Okay.
Get Buckley in to fabricate shit for you.
I'll just take any old bed.
Carlos, you muted.
As it says 8 like a transmog circle. What is that?
Yeah, there's
Is
just
this equivalent
teleportation.
exchange?
there's a TB circle in there.
Yeah,
I mean, it
that's
makes
a
sense.
DP circle, yeah.
We'll eventually get one
If we
implemented.
find
Yeah,
a suit of
it's
armor
where
with
it's
someone in
where
it, I'm
one will
rage
be
quitting.
put when we eventually make one.
When I've got
Yo,
a
you
year
just
of
find a
alcohol-
dog with long black hair.
Oh, fuck you.
When I've got a year of downtime,
You
there'll be a
fucking a-hole.
Again, what have you
I'm
done?
sad now.
Oh god, I could be so mean to say it's carp alderleaf.
No!
Whew, that would be
Blue,
evil.
Blue, please send
No.
Dash to the Shadow Realm.
Yeah, like, no.
My D&D.
Be gone!
Be gone, thought.
No, it's my D&D. I'm staying. Okay.
Yeah, you guys
But
can
no,
choose
in
away
all-
from me, I don't care.
In all seriousness, actually, it'd probably be like room 6 is where Roman's probably just gonna be hanging out all the time. Since I don't have to.
Yeah, you don't have to sleep.
I like that I seriously wrote down 7. As your room without checking which room it was.
Yeah,
I
that's
said
the
it loud,
sauna.
The sauna.
Yeah, just basically for I'm always within a
At this
cloud-like
point,
state.
I
I
like,
just don't ask questions.
yeah,
I'm like,
I like
sure,
how I said
in
I'd
the
be
sauna.
16 and nobody questioned it.
No, I looked and then I didn't
Exactly.
question it.
I was gonna go for 1 because it's big open plan, but there's nothing on there that they can perch on.
Has anyone
What about
posted to Twitter
5?
yet?
Yes.
Okay. We've all chosen our rooms. Continue.
I haven't
We,
actually
we all
chosen a
go
room,
and
just
immediately
whatever.
dive on the beds because that's what you do when you claim a room.
So the two fighter paladin just bounce on the bed and you hear those things go.
But also, Carlos, you and Ash and Glory, you both also then get a walk-in closet and a master ensuite. So
I know, right?
With
Oh,
the
but-
amount of suits of armor and weapons they have.
Honestly, we need the storage.
Just imagine some thief walking into that room, hitting the motherload, and then those two rise up like Taker and Kane.
I'm sorry, but this is giving me the whole vibes of there's probably like a halfling who's just been standing there for a while and probably got a tent out. And it's just like, oh yes, you're very, very late. Let me show you around your new home.
Well, now that we've calmed down from the jokes,
But I'm not finished.
you guys do enter in. It's late afternoon, and you are just like taken aback. The stair, as you enter in, the actual like entryway, the main hall, has a chandelier of 2 circles, like one smaller, one larger, and just candles are just sat atop it. Most of these candles are very worn down, but you can see that there's also, like, of course, a little stick on the side with a cap to put out candles with. That is very, very tall, like almost as if you were at the ground level. You could use it. And there is currently a pile of dust in the corner. And you currently hear not commotion, should I say, but from where would you hear? You'd hear it from area 2 currently, where there's 3 small pillars that just rise up to the next floor, and it's essentially more like a Romanesque kind of villa design to give you an idea of how this looks.
So it looks like Gnomeregan?
But you do hear some small movement in there as you all taking a bath. And there you just hear of feet on tile floor, as covered in dust with a little cap on is one steward of the house, Carp Alderleaf,
Aww.
Oh.
who immediately drops their broom and goes, I have to get dinner ready. Just runs. Just begins bolting to the kitchen.
No. It's okay. It's okay.
Mom reaches out like 15 feet clean.
So how are we going to go about preparing for this thing?
Well,
Great question.
well, I'm gonna go. Pull out party supplies. I'm gonna go set up.
we've got 2 full days of prep, right?
Basically.
So we've got.
Can giants fit in here?
No.
No.
I was gonna say, we're
it'll
gonna
be
set
a
up
garden party.
outside.
Oh, yeah,
It's going to
I'm
be a
setting
setup
outside.
outside. This is going to
Yeah.
be an outside in the courtyard kind of.
Okay, I have. If you guys are
Alright.
okay to prep for this, I've got to go prep for the next thing. And
Sure.
I'm just gonna head up to my room and just start studying the fuck out of some spells.
You set down all your gear. You feel
Like a
comfortable.
real teenager, he's straight up to his room. We never see him.
Comes down
All
for
right.
food, takes it back up, brings down the empty plate.
No, it's
I'm roasting
it's
myself.
As am I.
It's not him that comes down. It's Fida Kala.
Fidakala holding a plate
Aw.
of peasants that requires more food. Feed my lord more. Lord Valorin requires his supper. Who's giving the foot massage? But yeah, essentially you have caught Carp as he was running, and he's stood there, dusty. Hi. I've been kind of keeping this place for you. Mom said I could while you were gone to try and help. Hi. And he just runs over, just immediately starts hugging you all.
Hi,
Give him a
Carl.
big hug.
Hiya.
Just ruffle his hair as I walk off.
You've
Hey,
grown so
Maris, I'm gonna need
big!
you to do a sending message tomorrow.
Considering he's a gnome, not really.
In Kirak's perspective, he has. No,
Not
wait,
even a hint.
she's shorter. Never mind.
She's shorter.
The statement stands.
The things we do not question with Kira.
Flump, you are now buried in wigs.
He pokes his head out from the feathers to look at Tian. Who dis?
New bird, who dis?
I do the introductions.
He does the trying to be proper shake hand thing where his hand's way too stiff, like. He's cool.
Yeah.
So essentially, Cop will more or less do what he can to assist you in any way around the town. Can serve as messenger boy, or he can do his best to get tea. But good luck, he's like Ted, he ain't cooking dinner worth shit.
I'm just gonna lean over to Ash and go, should we warn him about the giants that are coming tomorrow?
What's this about giants?
You weren't meant to hear that, kid.
You say that as you look between your legs, and there he is poked up high.
Go on. Find something else to do.
Carp, I think we all appreciate everything that you've done for us so far. I think it might be worth you just sitting down for, say, about a couple of hours. Just have a good break.
Okay. He just literally goes into the room on the right, room 2, and just poofs out cold. KO'd, sleepy boy. Doesn't even try to do it properly, it's just straight up in a pillow. It's like a large beanbag almost, and he's just pop. Kind of like how I did to you at Coxcon Blue, where I just melded you in a pillow.
You've still got that
he
picture.
embraced it. Yeah, I still got that picture.
That little cleric spell, melt the pillow.
It's a very good picture.
Meld with pillow. It's a toddler only ability, I'm afraid. You have to be under 10 to cast it.
Aw.
Aw.
At least I know a spell that Sarah can cast.
Nemo won't let you have it.
Kirok can cast it.
I won't let you cast it.
Aww.
Counter spell.
I mean, I might let you have it. You don't know.
Leave her alone. She's only 7.
Ugh. Which one, Sarah or fucking...
Kirok. Sarah's 4.
Jesus Christ.
All my characters are
I got the
children.
streamers up.
Except for Delmara.
She's only a
Yeah,
teenager.
Kirok
That's true.
Who is... Age-wise, she's a child. Or maturity-wise, she's a child. Age-wise, she's older than the entire party.
Yeah. It's all about perspective.
Time is relative.
From an elf's perspective, she's like a teenager.
Anyway, tangent.
Yeah.
This is a tangent, my dear.
Oh, thank goodness. I thought that it was just going to collapse anyway. Poor thing.
Which he then proceeds from...
I have a feeling that the broom was the only thing keeping him up.
I mean, probably from the looks of him. This is a big fucking house. Holy shit. I'm just gonna wander.
You wander for as long as you want. You check out every room. You check out...
Intimidated by a house.
There are storerooms where essentially it's more or less empty boxes and shelves. There is some
Hey guys, I
cutlery.
don't have to carry your shit anymore.
This is essentially the Skyrim room where it's like, I want to put this sword here because it looks good. Only difference is only one of you have the worry of Carp walking up to you and going, honor to you, my thing.
Sad that nobody's said anything about my streamers.
They're
I
very
was
good streamers.
noticing.
We're very proud.
Fucking, they're shit.
I was tabbed.
They
I
are
was
not
tabbed looking at the other one, you fuck. I was tabbed looking at the fucking interior thing, and now I see this shit.
Come on, it's good.
Wait. Fuck. What have you done?
App on the way up to the mansion.
He's been on streamers.
Hang on.
Yeah.
It's very much within our party's aesthetic.
Excellent.
Yeah, I was like, oh, you know what? I'll just go ahead and do this. You know, while everybody's looking at the house. You know, nobody will see it. It's fine.
So, Curls,
This makes me a thumbs up.
Glory, from area 3, the
Okay.
large chamber, like a better term, more like a greeting area. That's where the chandelier is. The stairways up to either side lead up to the bedrooms. Well, the majority of the bedrooms.
That's a point. Hang on.
There are bedrooms on both floors.
No. I'm going to say this in more of a law thing. Are the buildings in Gauntlet Grim, do they not have stairs?
There are stairs in Gauntlet Grim.
Okay, because I was just picturing like a typical Welsh cottage, which is basically one room up.
Not quite.
Yeah, I'm a nerd. Leave me alone.
You're fine.
That large glass thing gives me anxiety.
Which one?
The chandelier.
Ah.
Like, I have premonitions of this thing falling down for some unknown reason.
Well, considering
Kirak like flies up to get a closer look at it, and it starts trembling.
No, I'm moving. I'm moving under the cover.
She like starts poking it.
Kirak, I know it's shiny,
when
but
you
don't
poke
do
it,
that.
it gives a lovely
Ooh.
like a wind chime.
Ooh.
A very delicate wind chime.
Woo!
I saw the chaos in Blue's face.
Carrier
Wild.
Tam, I think we might need to childproof that.
I think there's a lot that needs childproofing.
From
Yeah.
behind Kirak, there's 2 arms around you from Tion, honey. No.
Oh.
I want to as well, but no.
Makes note. Childproof chandelier.
You were joking, but it's going in the book.
I was just trying to think, what's the name for those childproof things that you get for drawers?
Which
It's
ones?
No, there's a lot of them, and that's why I was going.
I have many. There are many in my house and my sister's. I'm quite aware of what they are. I know
Yeah,
what to refer to.
We have one in the
Yeah,
kitchen,
that's
but it's for the cats because they learn how to open cupboards.
Fanicala.
Then
Meow.
Phenicala and
You got a cat with 20 intelligence. It's getting in.
But it doesn't have opposable thumb.
It's very funny to see the betrayal on the cat's face the first time they try to open the cupboard. It just goes donk, and they just turn and look at you.
Someone needs to draw Fanicala with the look up. Just like shitty meme drawing it. Yeah.
Okay, that's the next thing on the list.
So I'm gonna go into the kitchen and start cooking
Okay. You start
because I am a
cooking.
chef.
I forget one of us can cook.
Every party has one person who's at least competent at it.
I'm very confident
Who is
at
this
it.
in Oakheart?
Thane.
Okay.
Doubt.
I don't know enough. I don't know enough
Hurry
about
if,
Thane to argue.
Exactly. Haha.
Hurry if it's mostly a liquid diet.
Dala if it's also mostly a liquid diet of the different variety.
Indeed.
100% protein diet.
She has a lot of protein. Her cooking involves killing it and then putting it on the fire and then eating it. There you go, cooked.
In Ondala Thom, it's one big pot, you throw everything in, it goes grey, then it's cooked.
Wait, I'll just make a meal for
Anyway.
everybody.
Never forget natural 20 dragon steaks.
Yes, never forget the dragon steaks of natural 20s.
The good shit.
The stakes were never higher.
Hey.
Hey!
Hey.
By one
He
a
never
day.
makes a mistake.
Because all steaks are male, there is no mistake.
Yes!
I don't know who hit the head, but it was excellent.
Achievement unlocked!
Fucking hate you all. You guys are so shitty puns. I fucking hate it.
I mean, it is session 69, what did you expect?
Ugh.
This is the meme session.
Fucking.
Blue, if you can ever do animated GIFs for the server, that's
I don't know how to make gifts, I'm sorry.
fair.
Animated emojis. I mean,
I don't know how to do them.
So, back in.
I figured it.
Varys is going upstairs and preparing. What is the rest of y'all doing? One's cooking, one's Roman, and one's Roman.
Did you learn mirror image?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Well, actually, no, I didn't.
Fucking Malkovich up in this shit.
I'm probably gonna say I'll be outside, fairly close to the bedroom that Gloria and I have chosen.
So is that number? So you're like in area 5, basically.
Yeah, and I'm basically meditating there, sort of getting a vibe for
Damn
the land and just basically catching up with
Hey,
the old
Mud,
bros.
how you doing?
So, hi Sylvanas, how I'm actually like this. This is Frog. But...
Hi, Sylvanas, how you
doing?
How you good?
You good? Yeah, bro, it's fine, bro.
Not your Mercer's world, they are stoners. In my world, they're camp.
But yeah, she's basically catching up with Moradin and Sylvanas, checking what the current state with the Devourer, the Great Devourer is.
Your religion check if you'd like to.
Religion check. Religion check. Please be God. Did not mean to cast that with advantage. So
It's
sorry.
fine. So, even with your attunement to them at this point in time, there doesn't seem to be much of a response from either of them.
As I thought. She'll still remain there, as I said, remain getting a vibe for the land and essentially just kind of going, right, this is home now. I'm going to enjoy my garden.
Aww.
I'm going to find a spot that's not in Ash's garden that I can train in without yelling at me for destroying a tree.
This is probably on.
I will go like out the front.
I'm guessing
Area
the one.
10.
I'm guessing the one with the fountain and the wall around it is probably the
Yeah.
garden.
I feel like that's
Yeah.
the showy garden though. That's the garden that I shouldn't be at.
I said it was Ashka's garden. I didn't say that it was off limits.
The ones
I'll go
on,
find somewhere to train.
yeah, the
Put it
ones
that
on
way.
the map are the garden, but remember this thing is situated, has got land around it outside.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
go out.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out into the kind of land around it a bit because
Kill.
reasons.
We're gonna presume that the ominous-looking bats that are in this map are just Zero's boys, just hanging out.
They're,
What?
Sure.
There's ominous.
they're my
bats?
bird babies. Leave them alone.
Birds, bats, and bothersome. They're all here chilling.
Name of the episode.
No.
Baby burbs and baby bats.
I mean, we just have to call this episode 69. It's fine.
It doesn't need a title.
no further title required.
Episode 69 of SKT. 69. Or just, ah, yeah.
It's just called episode 69. Nice. Nice.
Yep,
Nice.
that's the one.
Dank.
Dank.
Thank memes.
So does anyone have anything they would like to do for the few days you're here?
Copy spells. If I've got time, possibly visit the shrine.
You can definitely visit the shrine too.
Got a lot of spells to do, dude.
Yeah, you've got a lot of spells to do, but you can definitely visit the shrine, the temple.
Now the spell book you gave me, you mentioned it had some spells in which weren't wizard spells.
Correct, and you could make Arcana checks to try and successfully copy them over.
Okay, I think one Arcana check then for Contagion.
Okay, straight roll.
Oh,
Is there anything you want to do to try and give yourself advantage? Oh,
mean-
never mind, you're fine.
Okay.
DC is 10 plus the spell's level, and I'm pretty sure Contagion is a 5th level spell.
Contagion is a 5th level spell, yeah?
Yeah, so you just get the DC.
10, 20, 32, 40. I've got to do 44 hours worth of copying. That's
So literally 2 days.
Yeah.
I'll
Just enough time to sleep.
I'll go through the first night and take exhaustion if needed.
Kerok's just gonna sneak up with a cup of tea.
Well, I mean, you'll have 4 hours there.
As
You know that
someone
you're not
who
using.
knows like how much shit that gets done, 4 hours ain't enough.
Well, he's an elf, though,
Well, yeah, I only need 4
so he
hours
meditates
sleep.
for 4 hours of sleep. So that's fine.
And we have confirmed before that for you, light work, which is the 4 hours that you just have anyway of
Copying.
rest, can also be of copying spells. So yeah, that works.
Kerok comes up and brings him a cup of tea, and then tries to like pull a piece of paper away to try and look at it.
You can slide a hand check versus Varys' passive insight. Or insight or passive perception.
Perception was 14.
Sleight of hand is
Probably not good. No.
Oh,
That's that lucky number.
I mean, it beats it. It's 14.
yeah, that is the DC.
Kerok has obtained a random piece of paper.
Fuck knows what it says.
It's in Varys' handwriting, it's hard to read.
this is chicken
Spell
scratch.
list.
Kirok, do you speak Elvish?
No.
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 Hang on.
Common
But-
or primordial.
but-
Imagine.
But I have comprehend languages.
Okay, so later on you can cast to try and comprehend the page.
If he's not
And
paying
this thing-
attention, if I take it and he doesn't seem to notice, I'm just like, cool.
Comprehend languages only for anything spoken. Oh no, any written like. Oh,
Handwritten.
never mind. I forget.
You have
I forget
to
the
be-
part that.
I think you have to be touching it, and you can sort of read it.
Yeah,
think.
so I'll take the
Well, he
Yeah, you
got
must. Yeah, but you must be touching the surface on
She
which.
got it, so she can be like,
Never mind.
ooh.
Never mind. I completely forgot about that part. I thought it was only
Yeah,
for literally any
the
spoken language.
page you've stolen is Dear Diary.
Today I got a bunch of
Falls
spells.
Suddenly we're in my campaign. Here's a handout.
So
It speaks of the relief that he has found his mother and sister and yearns to find his other 2 siblings and father.
Aw.
Also,
After-
Fenacala keeps scratching him in the night and he's a little shit.
After about an hour,
Reminds to
she'll,
dismiss.
after about an hour, she'll come back with a fresh cup of tea and replace the page.
Make another sleight of hand check.
That wasn't as good.
Varys, you see Kirok in her typical way over the top expression as she hands you the tea. She hands you the tea in her right hand while the paper's in her left from your right side, so you see the full paper as she lowers it slowly in front of you.
Kirok, can I help?
You drop that and I walk away.
That's my girl.
So, I'm gonna basically just be setting everything up since I don't have to
I
sleep.
could say as well, if you wanted to, you could definitely go to the shrine if you wanted to.
Yeah, just pray to Bay for a little bit.
Oh, and
Pay to Bay.
I copy
Luck
like
Bay.
I copy identify spell because he said I could do that.
I mean, that was before you stole my diary.
I mean, I also have
You
it.
didn't know if
so
I
you
stole
could
it. I
No,
picked it-
go
I
on.
So you
picked it off
could,
on
you
the
could
floor.
come.
It's fine.
If Varys is busy doing stuff, then I'll ask Roman.
No, I mean, I'm only busy copying spells. You can sit there and copy a spell as well.
Yeah,
I
you
then
could
do our
definitely
spell
do
book when I'm at the temple.
At some
Okay.
point in the 3 days, I get identify.
Nice. A
Nice.
useful spell. Do us a favor, guys, because Vanilvar is so far away in my notes, it is literally gone from my mind. What exactly is the name of the priestess who runs the temple? It
Sister
begins with G. Gorelia.
Yep.
Carl,
You fucking
halfway
need
through
me.
her-
I just
Right, now here's
opened the
the
book
real
and then I was
challenge.
like,
Get back up your page. What's the name of her god? Tianis.
time.
Who's Tianis? Tianis is fucking Okar.
She's one of.
I mean, I'm sure you did
I
the same
thought you
thing.
did that as a meme.
Didn't make the mistake I made before where I call Tenera's Timora,
Yeah.
which I
I
have
thought
done.
you did it as a TNS
No.
spelling meme.
I'm very tired.
There's too many T names, okay?
Timora. You mean
It's like
Timora?
Dane,
Titania.
Dane, and
Titania.
Kane.
Don't get me started
Throwing
about
them in.
Titania. Don't get me started about Titania.
Ray Ray.
Titanium. Yeah. No, that's just a metal. Yeah.
What's happening
Adamantite.
this
I don't know.
week?
So if you want to go to Sister Garelia in the temple of Timora, you can definitely do so.
Yeah, just a few quiet moments, just praying for some luck in everything.
Do you want to
we've got
roleplay, or do you actually want to encounter with her? Because
No,
if you
no, it's-
explain to her what's happening as well,
do.
as she is a harper, much like yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I'll sit down with her. We don't have to roleplay it, but
Okay.
I'm sure I'll sit down with her for a little bit, just explain what's going on.
And what's coming. Very
Yeah.
important. Because at halfway through the second day, the ship does float over Phandalin, but it's, say, maybe 200 feet westward of it. Like, it won't actually float over the city for the obvious panic it would instill. And you people will, of course, be showing up and calming down the locals. Like, hey, yeah, we got guests.
Yeah,
And
put some warnings out there.
Courtyard's ours. The courtyard's ours for, like, 3 days. Deal with it.
I kind of want to take Carp aside on that day and just sort of run him through just general etiquette and sort of guide him as to not to be too scared, because there's going to be quite intimidating people around in regards to their height and things like that. Just to give him like a 101 on giant.
Okay.
I think Nemo wanted me to do a sending spell to someone as well.
Yep.
On the first day. Who do you want me to send to, and what exactly?
I was going to have you send a message to my the person who got me into the Emerald Enclave, just saying, "Is like everything okay?"
Do I need to know them to do it?
Don't
If he
you-
gives a
don't you just-
description of them, it helps.
Yeah.
But you can definitely do it like from that.
Because we haven't been able to contact their Emerald Enclave, right?
Yeah, we haven't been able to
Yeah.
contact the Emerald
You
Enclave.
could also just
concerned if they
email.
have.
Yeah, I'll do
You
that.
message Rudolph.
Yeah, I'll do that as well. I'll contact Rudolph and this guy and
Because they just might have
Rudolph.
information that would be useful to us. We probably can't help
Rudolph.
them. with
You mean
it.
Rudolph?
Rudolph the green-nosed red.
Rudolph the green nose
Radar.
through
His name is
it.
Radar. Picks up the dice. No.
Rudolph the green nose through it.
Okay.
Helps us in a
Yeah.
tight spot.
Contact them basically.
When you try to contact Radolf, you get no response. The spell does not work.
Oh, it doesn't go through. Like I get a sense it doesn't go.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when you try to contact Zero's individual, the spell also does not work.
I'll let him know.
That's disconcerting that the Emerald Enclave has just fallen off the map.
It is. You're right. But
I feel this is going to bite us in the side while we're doing this next job, but there's not much we can do about it.
no, we can't get everyone.
Well, it's not that. It's that I'm worried that there's a reason they've fallen off the map, and it's going to be something that's going to, that information that we could have really used, and it's going to hit us at the worst possible
Yeah,
time.
we can't
Am I-
contact everyone.
Should we go
unfortunately.
check? We could go quickly check.
Am I in
I
the
mean-
room?
I mean, I pretty much spent all my time in my room, so me and Nemo are probably in my
Okay.
room doing this.
We should probably tell Ash about this. She might have some thoughts on it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
You go run and tell her. I've got one more sending to do, and I'm going to do one more sending spell to the guy's name. I want to get his name right. Scroll through the list. Samoshi.
Sumoshi, the
Air
Genasai. Or not air genocide, excuse me, air genie.
Genie.
Yeah.
Just be
He's probably
very much-
made a few genocide in his time, but he himself is a genie.
Wow.
I'll just
That
be,
boy done some fucking.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Subtle
You
as two
didn't
bricks.
have to say it.
Yeah, like seriously.
I'll just say
He
something
is
like,
as elegant as the wind. Me? I'm a rock. Gunk. Also 69, deal with it.
yeah, I'll just do something like very quickly. Hey, Travis, thanks for the gift.
XXX. Tabeb.
XXX. PS.
XOXO.
If we wanted to get to visit you, is there a name of a place we should go to? Question mark. You can reply to this message.
Oh, don't make me get up to DMG again for the name of that fucking city.
I mean, if it's just going to be the name of the city again,
Aqua.
don't worry, because I've
Or
got
however you
Aqua.
pronounce it.
It's more of a
Aqua,
if there's a
Aqu,
specific
we didn't-
space where he
Aqua.
lives that would
Aqua.
help.
The city of Aqua.
Okay, if it's just going to be that.
The Grand Palace.
I even tweeted at Chris Perkins saying, "Do you know how to pronounce this?" But I got no response. Sad face.
It'll probably come up in a sage advice very soon.
I hope so.
He'll explain
It
that.
is. You get the response of the city of Aqua on the plane of air, the eternal palace of the Grand Sultan.
Okay. I'm going to write that down.
If you definitely does not end up in the message, but if you're looking forward to a good time, that does not happen. He's spoken for, and he
Come to
knows
the
better.
Eternal Palace if you want an ass kicking.
There'll more happen to your ass if you go there than a kicking. I'm joking. He's not stupid enough to
Ask.
do that when he's with the shopkeeper.
Ask.
Yes,
Ash,
Radva.
Ash.
Yes,
I thought
Radva.
Stacy, Stacy,
Hey,
Stacy.
Honey.
Paris.
Poof. Honey. Poof. Honey.
Varys
Yes,
tried
Radva.
multiple attempts, and it looks like the Emerald Enclave has fallen off the map.
Fallen on the map, I preferred not to be contacted. You know that the Emerald Enclave tend not to want to be found, but I share in your paranoia there.
Yeah, I feel like there's something going on and it's going to bite us in the butt. There's nothing we can do, but it's just something we'll have to watch for. Unless you have any thoughts.
Hmm. In my experience of the Emerald Enclave, that they will contact us when they feel that we need to know something. But in this case where there is a pending threat, I agree with you in that this is a dire circumstance, especially considering the Devourer is still looming its horrible head over everything.
Yeah, it doesn't sit well. You've been with them longer than me, but even so, there's just... Yeah, something doesn't sit right. But nothing does about this.
You say I have been with them for longer, yet I have only encountered only two other Emerald Enclave members, yourself included.
Yeah, well, I only met one myself. Yeah, well,
Have faith, Rodvar. Your paranoia is probably well intentioned. I had to think
Yeah.
there for a second, I got.
we'll make do.
We will make do.
I'm going back to try and make this place look like somewhere where people meet. Oh, which on a side note, when all these super royal people and all that come over, can I just hide in a closet somewhere?
Don't worry, Vark. I'll teach you some very basic military stances, how to actually present yourself and not be so anxious around our noble companions.
I'm a pig farmer. I'd much rather just not be anywhere near them.
In that case, then, do you want me to give Vradvar a call? You guys can hang out?
Sure, though he's probably more suited to the dealing with royalty than I am.
Once you have a conversation.
Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll turn into a cat. A cat may sit before a king.
Yes, but be careful for Fena. Saying that her whiskers are sharp is an understatement.
By the way, bonus Nemo points if anyone gets that reference.
I think I do.
I think I know what it is. But
I think so, but I'm not 100% sure. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on.
So, yeah, I'll be spending basically the next 2 days just decorating.
You decorate the village. Everyone else begins doing their own personal organizations.
I would say that Ashka would do something similar. In the sense, I find this absolutely hilarious character trait with Ashk. Just this very, very muscular, big woman, just tending to very small little house plants around the mansion.
So what you do, just if you were a bodybuilder.
Just if you're not even a bodybuilder, more like a weightlifter.
I also imagine, like, if she was going to help, it would be like, okay, I need to put a streamer up there. Think you can toss me?
Yeah, pretty much.
Just holding onto the streamer, just...
Oh, literally, within 20 feet of you, it would not need a roll.
There are two.
Oh, God,
I have two people who can fly.
I know.
We can fly.
I just had a really cute image of Ashka just sitting there with sort of showing off her guns on one arm, and Roman just sitting on there, just standing on the gun, on the muscle, just putting the streamer up.
You've Carp on one arm and Roman on the other, and you just flex them to make one bounce up to put a streamer up.
I will help move anything that needs moving. Answer the phone!
It's fucking... I'm sorry.
You can help the priestess of Timora who's
I'll
already
move
forgotten.
anything that needs moving, like for preparation-y stuff, if anyone needs someone who can lift anything. Otherwise, I'm gonna train.
Grelia. You will help Grelia because Grelia needs someone who can assist in moving things as she sets up the large courtyard area, essentially the center courtyard of Vandalin. She's essentially made into a large zone of protection against divination.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I'll help with that. And then otherwise, if anyone wants to train, I'm training.
Be a woman. As the ship does show up, Faith does basically end up being your sparring partner. Meanwhile, your mother's in the corner, just watching you both fight, and like, before I had to break you up, now I don't.
Stop criticizing my technique, damn it!
Every time one of you manages to get the up on another, you just tap them on the head with the weapon, just flat side of it, just annoying the shit out of each other.
Oh yeah, trying to provoke an actual fight. That's the way it generally goes, right?
Oh my god, I just thought of something terrible. Legacy in the corner. The Pinky and the Faith. The Pinky and the Faith. One is a tiefling, another's half race.
Honestly, not a bad comparison.
Do North Hellish book. So you guys practice.
What are you doing?
While essentially most of this time has been Hecaton discussing with Sildar atop the ship, waiting for the dwarves to arrive. But on the second night, as you guys, anyone who's out and about in the city, there is a low chill as quite near to where you teleported in, there is a shift and a movement. As in now appears Harshnag, teleported in by the Lady of Waterdeep. And those who greet him, he's wearing something different. He now has a cloak, which except for the sides of it, being this beautiful, almost like silver thread, the actual cloak itself looks like it is starlight. Doesn't match the rest of his aesthetic, but by fuck does it look good.
Does it match Kirok's?
Yeah.
Ooh, we match.
Twinsies.
Twinsies.
There, more streamers.
Weird shit.
I just picture just the enormous giant Harshnag with this cloak spread and then this tiny little bird on the ground trying to mimic him.
I think I've seen the dad and the kid just like both outstretched, like it's like Batman and Batkid kind of thing.
Yeah.
Is there any role play you guys want to do, or will it go straight to the meeting when the dwarves arrive on the third day?
I think we should probably work out, but just in us lot, our little party, if we can. Who's doing the talking?
I will be, because I'm the herald of the Storm King.
That sounds like a smart idea.
Stacey.
Yes. Is it possible, and I'm asking you this now, more in the case of it might be a little bit inconvenient. Is it possible for us to possibly take a detour to Thunder Tree? And
Would
if
not
so,
take you guys long. On like a half day, a few of you could go on Huru.
Don't need to. I have a focus for it. Can take us straight there.
Okay.
You literally into place.
Who's coming?
Before we go, I would pretty much intercept Zero in something to bring him along in case Rudolph's there.
Okay, so you definitely bring Zero.
Yes.
I'm going to shape change into a cat.
Right, where are you going?
Meow.
We're gonna go to Thunder Tree. Do you want to come?
Yes.
Awesome.
I kind of go to the Legacy real quick and be like, we'll be right back. Just like, if anything happens, deal with it.
Wait, how are we getting back? Are we flying back?
She can come with us if she wants.
I think we could probably possibly handle this. Yeah.
She has literally been on like a lawn chair, like the kind of one that you lie back into.
Sipping margarita.
Literally with a glass of wine.
Yes.
Literally with a glass of wine, and just lowers glasses to you. Have fun at Thunder Tree.
Are you sure you don't want to come see the corpse of the dragon we slew? It was really cool.
I think they skinned that thing and took its flesh.
Its bones might still be there.
I think in 7 months it might be moved.
I'm interested
More
as
than
fuck.
that.
Now I want to go. And she literally goes,
Was that the first dragon we killed?
Yes.
That was the first dragon you ever killed that you had a real smog encounter with.
Yeah.
And you nat 20'd
God.
it to taunt it.
Yes, I
breath
remember.
you,
God,
and you were left with
remember.
one
Instead of-
health from the breath.
I remember that strategy because that strategy was come up with by me and Kate and Area 11 a gig when we should have been watching a band.
We should have been sitting there watching, but no, we were sitting there talking about
I've still
dragon
got the doodle in a sketchbook of Kirot like pinned up against a tree and a dragon right there.
Yeah, boy.
But speaking of, that's how we're getting there, using this. And she holds up the one green dragon scale that she still has from Venom Fang. And this is the focus we're using to get there.
I'll just say everyone can go if they want. When you
I'm just gonna
arrive,
be setting up. So.
you're still setting up. That's fair.
And also writing down, stuff like, oh, okay, so topics of conversation. Let's see, daughters of Emma.
Who's sitting next to
Daily
who?
Barrage,
Who cannot sit
yeah,
next
wrong ceremony. Can't use that one.
He's doing
Don't
this,
put the dwarf
he's
next
sorting
to
out
the
the
giant.
seating.
Yeah.
He's
The
arranging
Dude,
meeting, the
yeah.
meeting,
Don't
the
do it, don't
seating.
do it, Blue. Don't be there.
When
Oh,
no
come
one
on,
else
let
is
me
in,
do
the
it.
court is where it happened. The, court is
menu,
where
the
it
venue, and the
happened.
seating.
court is
I
where it
instantly
happened.
knew someone was going to make that joke.
And it wasn't me for some fucking reason.
'Cause I'm the DM and I do what I want for the last time.
Fuck you, cross the songs.
To
right, carry on.
Thunder Tree!
The Thunder Tree.
Teleport to the Thunder Tree.
And see if Das
You-
archived the map or deleted
No,
it.
because that map was on a different fucking campaign.
Oh, shit,
Remember,
yeah.
we moved to a new Roll20 for Storm Kings.
Shit, yeah, we did.
Because I couldn't put the
I've
module.
just seen all the
into-
fucking streamers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zoomed out and I was like, ah.
He's been busy for 3 days, needless to say. When you guys arrive in Thunder Tree, most of it is very heavily a wooden design covering over, like, say, whatever was stone. It was easily, like, mostly broken down, has been cleared up, and is now wooden buildings. The skeleton of Venomfang is still there, but instead is now covered over in moss and has the head raised up on stilts, on wood and on stone, and is actually the entryway into the city, or the village of Thunder Tree.
That's dope.
Well done, Blue.
So picture, if you will, from the map that is currently in Discord, that you come in from the top left. You teleport in front of the bones of the dragon, which, now that you face far larger creatures, seems diminutive. Reminds you how far you guys have gone.
Hang on. Forgive
Venomfang
me
was a
for
was a young green dragon.
Forgive me for my lack of memory, but was Zero actually with us?
No.
No.
No,
Oh,
he came in SKT.
Oh, five.
This
The
was
only
Lost
people that
Mines.
were here was
Coffrus, I
Glory,
think, was still here.
Varus, Kothris, Gog, Kirok.
Oh, fuck, was it a win,
The
though?
original crew.
And Gog ran the fuck away when he knew there was a giant, because fuck that. Or a dragon, but also a giant, because fuck that.
Mm-mm.
He's not a smart ogre, but he's not stupid. I'm not fighting that, fuck off!
Oh my god, I'm looking back at my notes, a lot happened here.
A lot happened here. The entire area is cleared of
Aw, there's the tree I hid behind.
ruined. Memories.
Memory.
But what you do notice in the bottom right of the city, the bottom right of the village, where there was the ruins where you had fought the cultists and Venomfang, the ruins remain, and there's a statue of a tiefling with a sword out, drawn, shouting at a dragon, as there's a statue of a dragon breathing, and there's an elf jumping from the window, along with a bard, the half-elf bard, and a paladin from one side and a feathered sorceress from the other.
That's awesome.
Immortalized, cowering behind a wall. No.
Mood.
Turning out from the wall and casting out a spell.
Ah, yes, that's one way to frame that. No, I'm joking.
Well, fuck.
But
That's
Varys's
fucking
hand is
weird.
currently... Varys's statue has his hand outstretched as if magic missile is erupting from it. And there are magic missiles essentially piercing through the wings of the dragon at that moment.
The sword that I'm holding in that statue was the one I was using until last week.
Yep. Yep.
Old Faithful.
May as well call Talon Old Faithful, like, that should be its new name. It's had enough adventures as that blade.
Well,
But there is not a single person.
Ashka approaches the statue with a very, very wistful kind of smile, and she begins sort of druid crafting a flower, an associative flower for each of the
Members.
statues of everyone. So,
Funnily
okay,
enough, the statue of Kirok is taller than Kirok.
I just sort of stand next to him. I'm just like, eh.
You were also not blue when that statue was made.
But the statue is of grey stone, so they definitely weren't able to get you.
Yeah,
fucking-
exactly.
You can't tell.
But it is your rags compared to your now finer garb.
Oh yeah, I've got new clothes and boots. The very important boots.
like hanging off of one talon.
I'm gonna head to the house on the bottom left, which I remember
Which
we
is where
found
Radolf
Rudolph in.
Which was
Yes.
Radolf's house.
And just
I will
see if there's
I
any
will
sign.
follow.
You can open the door.
I'll also do detect magic at my
when-
stuff.
Do you do that before you open the door?
Yes.
Okay. The door is magic, but it seems more like cautionary. And put your hand to it. Your hand gets covered over in moss briefly before the moss recedes, and the door, you can just hear it,
Lock it, unlock
and the
it.
door opens for you.
Poke my head in.
It's empty.
Okay. Can I have a little look around for any sign as to where he might have got to?
What you do notice is, as well, because detect magic is an aura thing, around you there is a lot of enchantment and illusionary magic. It's almost palpable in the air.
Using the staff, I will just do a dispel magic.
Varys has gone full wizard and he's going.
I'm
You
just
perform.
Just a couple of dispel
Roll a
magic.
d20 and add your spellcasting ability modifier.
Yo.
That works. When you cast Dispel Magic, briefly around you, you can just see that what is very fine and well kept shows signs of dust slightly. But you can tell that it's weird. While you can dispel some of the magic, a lot of it also still retains. It's almost like there's another layer here. Not of magic or anything, but of existence.
I cast See Invisibility.
Okay. Roll a d100 for your wild arcane thing real quick. Because it's quite literal, the arcane energy here is that palpable. Not arcane, but the sheer natural magic of it.
Wild magic. Sorry.
see ya.
2 secs, guys. Let's see. Old favourite. Maybe not.
31 is one of my lucky numbers, so please be good.
Ooh, both of these are really interesting.
Hell no.
And I get to pick. I kind of want to choose 26.
What does 26 do?
Kirok's third eye opens.
Wow.
What the fuck does that mean?
An eye
Cast the invisibility.
An eye appears on your forehead for the next minute. During that time, you have advantage on all perception checks.
Your third eye opens and you see far more than you believed you could ever see. Because we've gone back to Phandalin, it's kind of fitting and all with all
The other one was you go to the astral plane, and I was like,
You just went to the DM plane. As you open your third eye and you look around, you can see something you've only seen once before. Quite close to Phandalin, when you fought off orcs and you looked up to the sky to see multiple layers.
Mhm.
Here you see 2 literal layers. You see the material plane and the Feywild. Overlapped, linked at this point. But when you open your eye and you see around you, you can feel heavy blockation of divination magic. This is almost like you're looking into a sacred grove, but you can only see because you're in the inside, as if you couldn't look through a hurricane. It's the only way to describe it. You're in the eye. And you look around, and you can see almost like fairy light moving, but in the like in the forms of people. Talking, singing, dancing. It seems like many of the Druidic individuals may very well have gone Feywild for the winter.
oh, okay.
Let's
We've
move
gone
you back.
full circle, guys. I can say the line again.
I'll move you down.
I'm gonna do it.
Well, Ashka doesn't. Oh.
I blink
Kirok,
once
okay.
and then a third time. And I just go over and I grab Glory and I just go, it happened again!
Oh, what now? Which one? You're gonna have to be more specific. A lot of things happen to you.
The sky has layers. layers.
God damn it!
What do you say?
Why do you have another eye?
What?
What do your bird eyes see, Kirok? What do your bird eyes see?
Because she was away from all of you when she cast it. Yeah, she got a third fucking eye.
She just turns
She was
around
like,
and grabs-
ah.
Kirok, I just kind of hold her shoulders. What the fuck?
Everything's got layers. The world's got layers.
Yeah, I get that. Something I can use.
I'm going to making an intelligence check to see if she can understand how to describe this.
Remember, you're not insane.
I'm not insane anymore.
I'm also not as dumb as I used to be.
Please don't say that.
Another world is layered on top of this one. There's two. There's two.
Out of character, I know what she's talking about. I think in
Make
character.
an Arcana check to see if you can comprehend the existence of planes.
I mean, I've been
He knows
to.
what planes are.
I've been
No,
to
no,
the ephemeral
when
Yeah,
I
plane.
but
say
like
that, I mean,
concurrent
like-
planes.
What you now comprehend, what she's saying is, there are points in the world where
The planes.
planes overlap.
hmm
And while every plane is a mirror of another plane, like the Feywild is the most enchanted version of the material plane, the Shadowfell is the most foul, the Earth plane is it without water, fire, or air, the Fire plane is it without water or earth, so
Yeah.
on, so on.
Yeah, I assume she's talking about the ephemeral
You
plane.
can
'cause I've been there.
comprehend that.
It's no. I've been there. It's quite nice.
Same.
No, a different
It
one.
is.
Different one.
Do you know which?
I've never been.
What do you physically see in the space? What's where?
This. I'm gonna grab Glory's head and place her
no.
forehead to mine, and I'll cast telepathic bond in an attempt to share what I've learned.
Oh God! Don't put
Glory,
yourself in the eye, Kira, please.
Glory, make an intelligence check with advantage due to the aid of Kirok.
Oh yeah, I'm good at these now.
Please don't poke her in the eye, Glory. I don't.
I can't help it. I have
mind melt.
winnies.
It's an Aracocra
Kirok,
mind
make an
Intelligence
intelligence.
check?
Kirok, make a check. Kirok, make a check with advantage as well. Oh, never mind. I was gonna say you could use it to lower the DC,
That's
but
fine.
you're fine.
I have a 20 in intelligence. These
Glory,
days.
for that moment, you put your forehead to hers. She pulls away, and for this moment, you guys can see almost like this illusionary or like almost fake eye on top of Glory's head in the middle. And Glory, you look around, and you can see all around you what you see, but you can see additionally on top of it, as if caked almost. Where there's earth, it's richer and finer, more beautiful. You can see the fairy light almost as if people moving like groups of fairy flies moving together, but they're people dancing, singing, talking. And you look around, you look beyond Thunder Tree, and beyond that you see nothing. But in here, in this moment, you can actually see all around Phandalin. It's like there's an entirely different
Thunder Tree.
layer to it. Thunder Tree.
Fuck, you're so right. This guy does have layers.
The world has layers. That's where they went.
Do they appear to be able to see like us?
No.
That's where they went.
Who just went through to the other Thunder Tree?
Yes.
Guys,
Yeah.
what's going on?
So there's like kind of people walking around here, but they're not here. They're on like mirror here.
They're
I
in the
understand.
other
They're
world.
a different plane. Do you know
We can
what
kind
plane
of see it. I can see it because Kirok can see it. I don't know what the fuck kind of spell she cast, but I can see it.
Do you know what plane it is?
Okay. Do I know what plane it is, DM?
Both of you can make Arcana checks. to see if
No,
you
I
figure it
can.
out.
Arcana.
Do
Okay.
Yes.
Do I know what plane
You
it
can't
is?
see it.
Make a straight Arcana check with like just a straight roll because they're describing. Yeah. Yeah, everyone just do
I
Arcana.
don't know
check.
why I would
Plus
know this, but
ace.
Jesus H Christ, woman.
Kirok is actually quite smart when it comes to magic. She just doesn't have
Ash,
to
go
do
ahead
it
as
very
well.
often.
Okay.
Pardon you?
Do I know the name?
Excuse me.
It's
Feywild.
the Feywild.
Okay.
It only took me 69 sessions of this and like 40 of the other ones to actually get the Feywild.
I'm going to fully assume I know what it is because
Yes.
put that link.
When
to...
you describe the Feywild, you immediately register. Oh shit, that's like it's one of those things of like a riddle that you don't get until the words actually said. And you go, "Ah, I feel stupid for not getting that."
Yeah.
Assuming I know a bit about the Feywild, I'm going to drop out of cat
A little
form.
bit.
Okay, we should go home and do this meeting thing.
Before we go, and I just want to test this out, just for reason. Am I able to enter that house or that building?
You mean Ladolf's house? Yeah, you could certainly. Yeah, just walk right in.
Yeah, and can I see if there's been any sort of, what's the word that I'm looking for? Residual magic or energy there from my initiation.
Make a nature check.
Zero will yell out after her. Don't go in any rabbit holes!
This is essentially like walking into. If natural energy was a nuke, this would essentially be your Chernobyl. Very low DC. You can still get some small. It's basically just so much natural energy around you all, so much vibrant energy. You can't discern if your energy is still there. A part of this, like if you took your glass of water and poured it in the sea, you know your water's in there, but there's no way for you to tell. Lou, what are you messaging people and smiling about? Are you sending memes to Curls?
Maybe.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Yes, you can, because I'm the DM and I demand it.
Well, basically, what I pointed out was this is the first time that Kirok and Glory have been mind melded while she was sane.
Yes.
She just responded, "So how was it for you?"
Very pleasant, actually, compared to the last time
It's
where you were both mentally chaotic.
Yeah.
This was a very still, peaceful moment. For this time, while the mental link's still up for I think like an hour until you guys drop it, you're in sync. You're zen.
Oh my god, Blue. Our characters
need to
also have meme chat now, not just us.
We're in the same cluster officially now.
I just got.
Do I need to get you to a cigarette or?
Please,
we
no.
must partake of the herb.
No, we're not doing a Stardew Valley on this shit. We must not partake of the forest.
No.
Yeah, Curls and Blue, you both gave me exactly opposite answers, so I put the same question.
Man, if that ain't a party mood, I don't know what is.
Put them screenshots on Twitter, boy.
Varys asks a
Fucking
question, Kirok says yes, and Glory says no.
No, I think it was more specific than that by any chance.
What question was
Alright.
asked?
Do you want to go to the Feywild? One said fuck no, and one said yes.
Would be more fitting if one said fuck yes and one said fuck yes.
Come on, let's come and play.
No, in character though. In character.
We have a fucking meeting.
Maybe a minute or so. You could be in there for 10 days.
We've got a meeting
Yeah,
in
I was going to say, I'm not an expert on the Feywild, but it's sort of a mirror of our own, and things get a bit. It's not like just
Hazy
jumping into
with
another
time.
plane. It's a bit wonky. Shadowfell and the Feywild could really feck up with our time thing.
I mean, all the like, I don't know really anything apart from, like, it's where all the stories about going into the forest and never coming back comes from, so let's not do that.
Legacy who's come with you and leans over the shoulder. Yes, there's a reason I told you never to go with sprites.
Yeah.
Also, we're going to the Feywild once we're done with the dragon shit.
Yeah, I would love
That's
to
a
visit,
holiday and a
honestly.
half.
That sounds
If I
fun.
take you to the right places, it's a
Sounds
holiday
fucking
and a half.
terrifying.
Sounds fucking
Oh,
amazing.
Yeah.
There's
Here, did you
hags,
just swear?
there's nasty.
Blame her, points of glory.
What? I had no part in this.
We're still linked. I heard it in your head.
I said Kirok the mental message of don't snitch on me, bitch.
Zero just raised his hand and says, if I recall, actually, I'd taught Kirok to swear.
That
Thank
was,
you for
that
your
was for
honesty.
saying Sard, but there we go.
Okay. I mean, we can go there now, but I don't think we need to go there.
Right,
So,
swear.
Absolutely not, because it could very well be the case of
agreed.
an hour there is a week here. Not at all.
Agreed.
Time does not exist on a coherent thing.
Ladies and gentlemen of the court, welcome. No.
I've got one idea.
From at home, just practicing his speech.
In this, the filler episode, it continually cuts back to Roman trying different parts of his speech, none of which is landing.
Yeah, it's just
If
like
anyone remembers
no.
former agent of Overwatch, this is Winston. Just that, just minute. So it's Hammond doing Winston's speech.
I've got an idea.
Built a quantum conserver. Surely I could do this.
I released my pack from Cthulhu. Surely I can do this.
I've got an idea.
Barris, what's your
I
idea?
want
Fair.
to lane shift Von Carla into the Feywild.
What the fuck? This is a bad idea.
No idea if this would even work. And if
Also, out of character, that would be the reason why your setting spells didn't work, because they're on a different plane, and then
Yeah.
there's like a 10% chance.
I know. Yeah, it's like
There's a 10% chance, but as I explained to Kirok, but once she mind melded with Glory, she'd comprehend it. It'll eventually get around to all of you. Cities in the Feywild are very difficult to scry. It's almost like they don't like being disturbed.
Oh yeah. But I mean, in terms of the fact of like most likely the Emerald Enclave went to the Feywild, and so kind of hard to get in contact.
But before I plane shift Von Carla, I'll be like, I'm going to send you home for just a short period of time. It
Why
might be
do I not
longer.
like what you're doing?
Just if you can find Radolf, just let him know that we want to get in contact. And if he can contact us, we'll be in contact.
Wait.
Thanks, little one. We're doing plane shift. Okay. So we go back to
God.
Vandalin.
I mean, there is a way I could try to make some sort of connection to him, but I'm not game. I don't think it would work, for one thing.
It's probably safer not to do anything too risky. This is why I'm sending
I don't
What?
think it would hurt us or anything. It's just more that the odds of it actually working are so incredibly slim that I'm not sure. Fuck it. I'm going to cast. I'm going to cast Conjure Animals, which conjures an animal from the a spirit from the Feywild, in the form of a beast. Beast shall be.
I found emojis.
You can do emojis in Roll20?
No!
Oh god.
If you right click,
Oh
What do I
If you right
have?
click.
Emojis! No!
There's emojis in Roll20? Holy shit, there is.
I'm going to summon a bunch of piggles,
Oh,
and when said
God,
piggles,
no.
Get it back 1 second.
and when
I will say
dear.
this
So-
now.
Sorry, Twitch.
I will say
Sorry,
this now.
Twitch.
If you keep using emojis, I'm gonna use that fucking template on Imrith. So you stop that.
I'm done. I'm done.
But there's a little pig one.
Yeah.
You can put the pig. Is there a moon one? Is there a moon one?
There's gotta be.
Okay, your mission is now to find the moon one.
I will find it.
I will find it, and I will meme you.
Oh my god, yes.
Found it?
Ta-da!
That's a banana.
No, it's a moon.
That's a moon.
It's a
it
moon.
looks like a moon.
Find it! That's a banana.
It's the moon. I searched moon.
Okay.
But yes, I'm going
You
to summon a whole
guys-
bunch of regular, common variety piggies. They're face spirits that turn into beast, and then I'm going to. Then my orders to them are going to be: if you can, just take information back with you that the moon pigs are looking to contact.
Make a
Hold
persuasion
on,
check to the pigs. I know they can understand your commands and your requests, but make a persuasion check to the pigs, because once they go back, they're fey creatures again. The pigs look at you.
I just ask if they will do it. I don't expect them to do it. It's like, anyway, thanks for coming. Have a good day.
Okay,
and then
bye.
I close. Okay, bye. And I drop concentration.
They just walk through a little portal, just like one by one. Just all right, bye now.
And I'm like, just to be clear, the Feywild is as big as the material plane, so the likelihood of that working is minimal to zip.
It's like calling someone in Neverwinter to bring a message to Gauntlgrim or Citadel Felvar.
Yeah, that
while you
message
guys
could be anywhere.
But while you guys are doing this and you're all around each other, Legacy has gone back and is just looking through the statues and just watching and observing each one and picturing it in her head.
I like the statues I made of you guys. They're pretty cool.
Yes, that's a story and a half. And Ashka is sort of grinning sort of wistfully, and she seems happy here. It's like the sort of the very stiff posture and so on is relaxed, and she's chilled out here.
Right, we need to head back. Come on, everyone, I'll teleport us back.
Okay.
And she just, her hand around, circle of flame does not ignite anything, it is just a flash of the spell effect itself, and you all teleport back to Phandalin. In Phandalin, it's now later on the second day. You all head to bed, and on the third day you hear trumpets from outside the city as the dwarves from Gauntlgrim have arrived. The heavy clang of the armor, the golems that have come, the massive lizard folk who also arrived, and the king himself of Gauntlgrim.
I will.
Massive.
Sorry, Han, carry on.
The massive circle in the center of town. Gerlia has explained to Sildar, and he has in turn explained it to everyone else, that this is where they must have their discussions and meetings, as it is protected from scrying magic. So this is where the meetings will be had. A very haphazard table, shall we call it, is pulled out. Essentially multiple tables brought together, and while there are giant encompassing things are brought from the ship down, that still floats about 30-40 feet above land. Everything else for the humans is brought out from essentially the inns and the houses, anything that can be provided. The giants seem to take care of their own food, imagining that even one of them being fed by this town would probably starve it.
I'm going to be out there early, helping where I can, just to move tables and chairs and
Same.
whatnot.
I want to say
helping.
I want to say that I will be out early as well, doing my duty as both ambassador to Hekaton and as the Thane for Gauntlgrim, and yeah, basically doing my duty to both sides.
Mm-hmm. You do so. You all
Shit,
do
I've just
so.
remembered I can't stay quiet for this whole fucking meeting. I actually have a job to do.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to turn into a regular street cat.
I'm also gonna.
So yeah, Tabby, you know.
Black. Just black.
I'm just gonna click my fingers and summon Fankala back to me. And just...
Benakala shows up like Merlin did in The Sword and the Stone, like wearing all the drab from just being on holiday. Meow.
Just with sunglasses on.
Little sunglass, little suitcase, like meow.
Margaritas.
I'd be like, God damn it! I gave you a job. Did you just have a holiday?
Roll a d20 for your cat, real quick.
Oh no.
Roll a d20 for your cat. Put that on Twitter.
Yeah, okay.
I intended to sincerely make.
Is he drunk?
Is your
I was
cat
gonna say, are you Are you drunk?
There was a mid-autumn. Shut up. There was a mid-autumn
you're
event.
coming to shut up.
No, shut up. There was a mid-autumn event. Everyone was there.
Was Radolf there?
I think he was on a table.
Did you speak to him?
Yes.
What did he say?
Another tequila.
Party on, dudes!
Your cat one.
Shopkeeping lady was there. She's really dressed up. Why'd you look sad? What'd I do? What'd I do wrong?
I pick up Von Carlo.
He's on your shoulder the whole time. He's like, what'd I do?
I take Von
What'd I
Carlo
do?
off by the scruff.
What? Yeah.
You're a real pain sometimes, and I will plane shift Von Carlo to.
Don't do
Don't do it! Don't do it! That's mean.
Oh.
He's intoxicated.
I did my best.
What's the most?
He also has to put up with you all the time. She has to put up with you all the time. No wonder she's drunk.
Do I know of multiple planes, or I don't know how many? I want to send like the Abyss or somewhere like that.
That will get your cat permanently killed.
I mean, I can reach some of them.
No. You send
Nah.
that cat there. Bye. I don't care. I will get that cat killed. By a devil, it's gone.
I would just be like,
No. I just kept saying about the moon pigs. The moon pigs had friends that they wanted to meet up. And,
just hold my finger over his own little mouth.
over the button nose.
Just
It
take
now
a break.
has the Puss in
okay?
Boots eyes on her.
Just take a break, and I will plane shift her to the plane of
Blue's
air.
bedroom.
No, I'll send her to the Eternal Palace of the grandson. Get out of here for now.
That cat's gonna get sick. Have you ever tried to plane shift with a full stomach? Twice?
Yes.
In like 12
Okay.
seconds?
Yes.
Making full use of this staff, guys. To send like cats to different planes.
The most powerful mage weapon in the entire game. Send my cat to the fucking plane of air.
Imagine what Kirok would do with it.
That's why
Oh,
you
God.
can't have it.
I know.
Oh my god, my brain just went immediately Flintstones theme tune of, and that cat will stay up for the night. Oh, look, okay.
I'm concerned because I'm a cat and you had said you'd use his staff to keep sending cats to the
I
other planes.
know.
Don't
I
do it!
know. Don't do it.
Definitely seen you turn into a cat.
Yeah. I mean, you got the blue feather, right? Even though you're a cat.
You still got the blue feather, yes.
Yeah.
Looks like he just
And
fought
the
a
mask
really
too,
weird pigeon.
which is traditional.
It's a teeny
Weirdly.
tiny version.
Yep.
So,
Mhm.
these multitudes of tables and chairs have been set out for everyone. Hecaton sits to one end. Sildar sits to the other, with Legacy at his side. Hecaton has the Jarl, Storvald, next to him. And on his right is Torun, the young stone giant, who seems to have earned a little position as an advisor.
It's a good
On
boy,
the-
he deserves it.
Doing his best. But he's not alone. Neither is he unscathed, as he has a massive brand, as if he's been struck, of a burn mark on his right jaw and face. But next to him is a young fire giantess that you all remember quite well.
Cinder!
Aww.
Whilst it seems what you have discerned from your Cinderhild, from what you've discerned from your talks with him during the days, Duke Zalto apparently did not agree to surrender to Hecaton, and Torun took it upon himself to do some rescuing. When you have greater invisibility and dimension door,
Stop! Dog.
you can get somewhere very easily.
I love my giant children.
And now I hate Zolto even more. I didn't think it was possible. I didn't think it was possible, but I hate him even more.
He get worse.
That's literally like,
Literal kick the dog.
I was about to say, that's literally the kick the dog trope.
Yeah. I am going to go and hug my giant children. Business, professional, be damned.
I'm gonna go hug him as well.
I'm gonna go hug him and go to our DM. Can I lay on?
You can lay on hands. No matter what healing you guys do, by the way, that burn mark does not go away.
Bastard.
Son of a dick. I don't say any of this because I'm also going to hug Cinder, and I don't want to threaten her father in front of her, but I imagine she won't mind.
No, don't worry. We killed her grandfather, so it's fine.
I mean, we'll threaten her father later. We have other things to do.
I'm going to have comprehend languages active for basically the entire meeting so I can understand everybody.
What's also been agreed upon is to ensure his trust and favor. Hecaton is the translator between anyone who speaks Giant only and Common only.
Ooh.
Cool.
As it's quite quickly learned that no matter how hard he tries, Sildar has at best broken Giant.
Yep.
He's trying, but he's not that comprehensive. Harshnag sits to one side of the table, closer to the small folk, but between the dwarves, who are all amassed, and the giants. To the other side of the table, having arrived late that day as well, is Farun, who is arriving as an emissary. This is the father of the young stone giant Tauren. And while he is definitely a very concerned and very clearly furious father, as well as being that typical parental fear of a child who had been lost, is relieved and very proud. For the purposes of this, multiple people will be discussing. However, we'll begin with Hecaton, who speaks aloud to not only you, but to all attendants, that the giants of Faerun, of the world, have been doing misdeeds upon all Smallkin. This has not just been the efforts of one malicious force, but been allowed to go unchecked for many generations, such as the case of the Fire Duke Zalta, who has now been referred to as the Traitor Duke.
Damn right, fuck that guy.
As well as
I do not say out loud.
As well as the manipulations, experimentations, and disgusting operations against all humanoid kind of the tyrant Countess Sansuri. At this meeting, Hecaton decrees that neither of them are under his protection, and both are considered criminals in giant culture.
Oh shit.
Aside from this, once this battle is over, he has agreed to allow the people of Neverwinter and the people of the Dwarven Holds to go with him back to the Maelstrom and into his trove to receive one item each, which will be given as a token of apology for the crimes that his people have committed. To this end, Hecaton begins bargaining for the next hour and a half with the dwarves, with your own aid, in regards to their grudges and feuds between many giant types, particularly the stone giants and Citadel of Velbar. It has come to the agreement that it was only when Sildar actually broke this discussion. He spoke aloud that both sides need to not be isolated, that only through unity and comprehension can these walls that have been built up by time and superstition be broken. It is agreed upon, and the stone giants are now going to be working alongside dwarves And to Hecaton, then, it comes to the idea that outside of Citadel Felbar, there is still a ruined city, small village. He decrees that this will be the first small folk and giant folk village, built in unison. The remains will be respectfully demolished, and those who have been unjustly slain will be avenged. And the street of the city, he has decreed, the main walkway, will be Duke Zalto's sword embedded into the ground. So needless to say, the city will only be rebuilt when Zalto is slain, or taken into custody.
Side quest unlocked.
Fuck yes.
Hello, yes, I am interested.
Side quest.
Main quest!
I need to draw this.
It is at this point in the discussions, now about midday, that the Archmages of Legacy's aid, the Harpers, appear, teleporting into position. The tower, floating above Phandalin, open to the world as a declaration. Something that not even a check has never happened in your lifetime. Each of the Archmages come down, and
Some fucking dollar hand shit right now.
I know, right?
it's only
All right,
tower.
everyone, let's go.
It's only a tower,
Right. Yeah.
but still a tower with a lot of arcane potential.
Yeah.
So
As well as the
Karazhan.
Titan,
Karazhan. There we go.
as well as the Titan Guardian, which still exists within, which you know is in the central chamber of the tower, Moongleam. You know, the one that was so large its fist is pretty much bigger than most of you put together. The thing that Zalto basically tried to build, a giant of giants.
Mm-hmm.
And the fucker couldn't do it because you thwarted him. So,
Eat a dick, bitch.
Sucks to be you.
that thing. Now picture this battle with that on their side. Blue side fatal. Forget.
All
It is
around me
here.
are familiar faces.
It is from this point that they begin waving hands in an incantation away from the courtyard, and you see a map be designed by them. Through the combined efforts of the Archmages, now thanks to the efforts of all of you in the naming of this wretched beast Imrith, and the area, the deserts, where she has laid claim to, they have been able to do something which has never been done. And they have successfully scryed on Imrith's lair.
Oh.
Fear.
Here's hoping this works.
Oh God!
That's,
Time to full screen this bitch.
that's
What the-
big.
Oh, Jesus goddamn fucking Christ.
And that's the surface level.
That's big.
Oh fuck.
That's very big.
I don't think... Can my computer please don't crash? Oh god. You can do it. You can zoom in this far.
That's a real big boy right there.
That's
Hang on. Hang on. This map is better. There's D20s in the bottom corner. What the fuck?
No, those are tents.
They're tense.
I know, but they look like D20s.
They
I
do.
did let me put it away.
The hell they do.
This is an ancient dwarven amphitheater. Back when the Ascor Desert was actually as part of a sea. It connected out towards the main sea of the world, but had long dried up. And the sands had claimed many of the buildings that had once lived there, island buildings. This was once a dwarven amphitheater, part of a dwarven city. The main trade area from underneath it laid its home. Many of them begin doing their best on the incantations, and you can begin seeing artillery pieces in place, large catapults, but also things that you've never seen before. Cube-like, but with large wheels like a cart, but with a snarling demonic face at the front. And what looks like the large portion, which you've seen on multiple things as a cannon head. Multiple fiery artillery pieces are in place. And in a very difficult scry of moment, the entire amphitheater has hundreds of Warforged, with an air force of at least 36 gargoyles, 20 Simicryliums, and whilst you do not see them, they focus again, and this image does linger, almost solidifies in place, but they focus. You see Zalto. A helmet is being placed upon him, like a great knight being armored from all sides, but you see smaller figures moving around him. Not dwarves, not slave creatures, imps. And you notice that at the center of the armor, which you've often seen him twist as a gear, the very center of it is hollow, and it goes inward, and you see this roaring flame, like his heart is a furnace. They begin trying to scry on others, but after 3 attempts and then a 4th, 4 scries fail. But you could see the army. You could see the general. Hecaton speaks to all of you. It is foolish of us to try to face this force and then face Imrith. No. What must be done is a command that she must answer, or at least send force to contain. That will be us. We will be the bait. We will draw them out. You will get in there. You will go to its depths. You will find this dragon and you will end her. You will end their leader. Sildar speaks. He has his own sergeants, lieutenants with him from his 100 men that he's brought. Casualties will be great, without question. But we have powerful arcane users on our side. We can definitely thin the number before they get close. Our advantage will be based on beating them before they get to us. They have very dangerous artillery, no doubt. I do not trust these machines. But we know as well their air force will outmatch us. Even if the Jarl is willing to unleash his beasts, they will still be outmatched. We have a stronger infantry corps, but quality over quantity. Even if these are feeble warriors, there's a vast number of them.
Would I be able to see and look at, or see if there's any sort of weakness in the artillery pieces, being that I am a tinkerer?
You're scrying on them, and they're like faded, illusionary images.
Right.
It's now, if you were close to them, you could definitely scry, or you could definitely examine them. But because you are not there, can't get a vision on them.
Is there any area on the scry map that
I will say this as well. When they did scry on Zalto, he was not in the amphitheater. Wherever he was getting ready, he was not above ground. He was somewhere underneath.
From any of the scries, do I see anywhere where any prisoners might be kept?
Not above ground.
Okay.
Legacy looks to all around her. In a dire circumstance, I have one card I can play. But I would only do this as a most dire circumstance, as it's a debt I would like to hold on to for quite a while. I can call in a favor. Family must take care of family, after all. But deals are that, and family will leave once task complete. But if you needed a force that could hold, this is what we could do. Hekaton speaks up and dismisses the idea. He looks around at all these capable individuals and says aloud to all of them, we have a strong infantry corps, somewhat competent artillery, and an airship to our advantage. Our priority is the destruction of the artillery on their side. If we can do that, then we will be fine. I have trust in us. But what we cannot forget is Imrit's 3 daughters. They will pose a sincere threat to us in the sky. As well as these, and he looks towards Tian, duplicates. We have a host of capable swordsmen with ravens, and one man on a very large griffin, and a tiefling with wings. We don't exactly have the air. But if we can secure our air advantage, they wouldn't have a hope. Not even Zalto leading that force from the front could handle us. But he is going to be my next point. Zalto cannot be allowed to engage our infantry. He will crush it. It does not matter how many strong dwarven defenders you have, halberdiers of men, rifles, whatever. Zalto must be taken on by champions. Zalto, to my understanding, loathes me. Loathes my defiance of him, shall we say. What must happen? I must step forward in front of the infantry when he appears. Let champions stand beside me if they wish, but we must not let him personally engage the infantry lines. He will sunder them. I've seen his capabilities. It is exactly what we used him for when we had our old wars. He is the ultimate shock trooper. But, and he looks towards Uthor, the Imperator, his champion. He looks towards Harshnag. He looks towards Faron. We have our own champions. No doubt Zalta will have an edge, but I believe we could defeat him. But this is not any of your affair, as he points towards all of you, the defenders. Your duty is simple. Make your way into that amphitheater, but wait for our battle lines to be drawn, and wait for them to clash, so the minimal amount can go back. That is going to be what we have to do. We'll use the airship and its firepower to draw them out. We will call upon whatever energies we may to hold the line. We will do our best to destroy the artillery pieces and advance. The giants will stand amongst the infantry. And he begins drawing out, essentially, squares where the small folk, infantry, will stand, and where amongst them the giants will stand, to match the forces, so that there is no fear of crushing or debilitation, but simultaneously, when the clash comes in against the small folk infantry, that the giants may then step forward in their own charge to counter it, choosing their own battles. With the Archmage's assistances, I believe that even all that Zalto could bring would not be enough. We could cut down their number by hundreds before they get to us. Heroes, small folk, what do you say to this?
out of character. I have so much I want to say.
Then say it.
I'm trying to think of how to say it. There's a lot.
That's a lot to take in.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the thing that worries me is the aerial advantage they have over us. Is there anything else we can call in to even slightly equalize it?
Yes.
The air elementals.
Yeah. We go to the plane of air.
We got time?
Sure.
I don't see why we wouldn't.
Yeah.
You believe you could call upon the Sultan's forces?
If there's any time to ask for repayment of a favour, it's now.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm worried about the air advantage they have over us.
If you were to call even a few air genies, believe me, their advantage is lost.
There are
Well-
some of us folk that reside within the plane, and they don't like gargoyles.
If your Arakocca could also be called, it would be a great advantage.
We do not like gargoyles. Very
But there
much
is
so.
limited time.
Varys?
Right now?
As soon we can go now.
Okay.
If you want to buck on the ground force while we listen.
All of us, or just a small
Do
number of us?
you want us to do it now? Because we can literally go now.
Some of us should stay here.
I'm gonna stay here, continue with talks, make sure everything.
Zero,
Yes.
you should come.
Okay. Oh wait, I will be a cat,
In
wouldn't
the
I?
meantime,
Meow.
in the meantime, whilst you teleport,
Yeah, I'll plane shift us there.
you plane shift them there. You arrive at the gates to the city of Aqua. It is spirals of cloud that are strange in the fact that underneath you is cloud, but it's almost like standing on top of uneven earth, in that the cloud is solid. You look around and there are, already you can see, these air genies. There are at the gates. You can see almost golems, but like the top part of a suit of armor, with the swirling exterior underneath keeping it afloat. Air elementals that seem just literally suited. You wait there for a few minutes.
I do the that we were shown to summon him.
And after maybe a minute, then 10, laughing joyfully atop a cloud with a woman heavier built, more gravity based, shall we say, in regards to how her figure looks, but in beautiful red clothes with long flowing blonde hair. There is the shopkeeper, and there is definitely your old debt-owing genie friend.
Debt-owing, yes.
Doing.
Doing, yeah.
Going.
Madoing.
Madoing.
Joni Sumoshi the Kind-Hearted.
Yay!
Shown here, not that kind-hearted.
This is how he looked the moment he came out of the fucking lamp, like, what the fuck? Oh, your friends, nice.
Kirak and
Now
Tian
he's
hold
far
hands.
This is where Kirk realizes I didn't plane shift Tion. No, I did. I think it's me, Kirok, Tion, and
Zero.
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 So,
Unless anyone else wanted
I'm
to
also
go.
here, because
Okay, Gloria's
like
also
fuck
here.
am I letting you guys go on your own? Are you kidding? Have you learned
I'm
nothing
a
about
cat,
me?
I'm here.
I'm gonna say Ashk and Roman stayed
Mhm.
as the diplomatic sides. And you lot went. As you
I'm
guys
a cat,
went,
but I'm there.
you begin describing the situation to Samoshi, and his mood darkens. Not of grimness, but of sadness. I see. I have spoken of your grand deed in freeing me from my long capture to my grandfather. Whilst I cannot personally grant a court with him, you described this place, this area where it shall occur. He just reaches behind your like say ear feathers, Kirok, and just floats out a flute and hands it to you. When battle is drawn, when you need us, call upon us with that. And he just takes it from you, and it is simple 3 fingers, 2 fingers, 1 finger on a long tune. So low, medium, high tune with it, and shows you the durations.
I'll practice it a couple of times to make sure I've got it.
Here it's fine to practice. Once you go back to your plane, that is when that will be activated. And I will lead them. There is a host of your kin here, but there is no time for you to do your greetings. But believe me, I will explain the situation, and those willing, those who believe this to be a just cause of your kin will come.
We have people here we used to have trade with before.
There are some of your kind here. There are some Arakocra here. Some have come from the material plane recently, as recent as a few weeks. Some as recent as a few years. But don't worry. Those of your kin that are willing will come. And if I know you and your kin, there will be a flood of your kind in the sky. But until then, there's only so much I can do. So please, when you are ready, let me know and I will return you to where you came from. And on the day of battle, I will summon who I may, and we will all be ready and waiting. The now not so elderly looking woman, clearly enjoying herself with her better half, as she calls him, and he to her, wishes you all good luck, and any who's willing, she will kiss you on the hand.
Oh.
Is everyone willing for that?
Yes.
I'm currently a cat, so
Sure.
You may
I
kiss
am
the paw.
suspicious.
You may kiss the pet.
Yeah, sure.
yeah, I don't mind
You
kissing.
all,
No one tell
you
us.
all get essentially 1 fate dice. Essentially, you may reroll 1 roll within the next week.
Basically a luck point.
Essentially, you have 1 luck point.
I went up to 4 luck.
I was
Wait.
I was frantically looking it up so I could remember the correct name. Kirak will say, just tell them that those who remain of the Grey Peaks request their aid, and they should come.
I know. There are some here. Some older from Neverwinter, and some others. But they're here. They've come aerial for the winter. But they will come. They won't mind the desert heat. Nor will they mind taking out their anger on an elf foe, who has definitely deserved it. Now go back. Your world needs you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And when this is done, do stop by at some point. And at this
definitely.
point, Varys, you just see a cat get flung at you. By the way, take your damn cat.
Did you enjoy it? Good.
The cat's there like, why? They all were all rubbing me, but their heads are too big. It's like getting eaten by a giant. Ah!
They'll definitely come back. I love this place.
There's definitely something here.
It's
That's for
beautiful.
sure.
Gloria is in a mild state of panic constantly.
The floor is squishy.
There's a
Above you.
floor.
Yes, there is a floor. The clouds are floor. It trips your head in
Don't
that
walk
way.
off
Of,
the clouds. Don't walk off the clouds. There's no floor under the clouds.
Kirok, sometimes there are just things you shouldn't tell me.
But look, you can do this. And she just dunks her head into the cloud.
Nope, I'm not looking anymore.
like an ostrich.
Like an ostrich.
While her head's under there, the rest of us plane shift out.
Return to the
I can
diplomacy
find my
meeting
way
with
back,
Kirok.
Sumoshi leads you back, Kirak. But in the skies above you while you were there were Empyreans. There were angels. There were dragons. There were many things, all floating about together in the skies.
There were coatls.
There are.
You're Coatl.
Hell yeah, I am.
It's almost as if this is where creatures of air go to recover, maybe return to a corporeal form. But here, there are hundreds of Coatl in the skies. There are dozens of rock. There are angels, Empyreans, and dragons. And you will return, and you begin finalizing your dealings of war.
Before I forget, we give them all the deets we have on the Warforged.
You do to the
all the weakness shit that we have.
Yeah.
Before I forget.
Tian knows it all. He can relate all the information that I have in
Tian-
his very handy notebook.
Tian begins relaying the information to all of them. And Kirok, once we're done, once you guys have finished your discussion, he will speak to you in private.
Mm-hmm.
Every one of those Warforged soldiers is more powerful than what Hilda brought. His men are capable, but not that capable. It'll have to be a matter of haste. The longer that fight draws out down below with her, the more casualties on the surface.
We can give them aid before we go down.
We might not want to, though. Reveal our position. If Imrit does not know where we are, we have an advantage on her. A paranoia that might keep her from letting her daughters loose upon our enemies, our friends.
What would you
This is going
suggest?
If we can, similar to how the effects of this area are, that they cannot be searched upon with magic, if we could cast it upon ourselves and we make our way within, Imrith would call anyone who's not currently engaged in battle to her, or even more desperately those who are. She knows our capability. She knows your capability. She knows how Glory is a dangerous opponent to her.
I think the Archmages could do something.
Mm.
But I'm still concerned.
We have to rely and trust our friends in this. This is a war.
Tian, we don't know where she is. They couldn't see her.
Correct. But if she's further in that lair, whatever's down there, she's willing to protect from even Archmages scrying upon it. She values whatever's there. Worse to worse, we could destroy the creation point of these Warforged, perhaps, or free prisoners of hers, or cause an amazing ruckus in the back. If things go badly, and she's not even there, if she's gone somewhere else, we just rise back up, and suddenly we are amongst their artillery pieces, and we could push from the other side.
But what about her other ally?
If we are getting our... And he, at this point, literally takes you by hand side to side of the head and puts his forehead to yours. If we're getting our allies, if we're getting our kin, the skies are ours. And if she's there, they'll tear her out of the skies. Will tear her out of the skies.
I hope so. It didn't work last time.
This time, we're ready. Or we'll just throw Glory at her.
That'll work.
I'm just picturing Glory being like thrown between giant lords, like whilst also
Need to
being
increase
the
the amount of panic in that. That's better.
So, as you all have your debates and your discussions, everyone gets on their own modes of transport, and you all begin heading. Oh, let's So see now, where is the north map? There it is. You all begin heading eastward towards the deserts of Anorak, towards the lair of Imrith, towards Askor. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we will end the session there. Next session will begin with the party arrived.
I'm scared.
How long is it going to take us to get there?
Between the aid of archmages, teleportations, the ship itself, I'll move it to just a day. Just one day.
So have I got time to cast some spells, have a long rest, get them back?
You can do it now and rest.
I want to
But essentially, on the dawn, you will essentially have 1 day of travel, and then the dawn of day 2, shall we say. That is when you will arrive.
Do we do the spells now, or wait till next time?
Yes. Do your spells now.
So you were just going to leave it at that? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I want to cast a Legend Lore
Ooh.
on both Imrith and I've got enough ingredients to do it twice. Anyone else got any suggestions?
I could cast Hero's Feast now. It lasts 24 hours.
No, by the time it goes to the next day, you guys have to have this as your brekkie, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And anyone got any suggestions before I do it on my sword as well?
I've got one, if no one else does.
Go on.
Zolto's armor.
Hmm.
The legend of the Black Plate is the easiest to understand, so I'll describe it first. Once the armor worn by a tyrant, it was wrenched from him and worn by a paladin as a sign of a fear that the armor once wore, but instead to be worn against tyrants. The paladin was last seen charging towards Iron Slag after the destruction of the cities outside of Citadel Felbar. The paladin never returned. The armor. You can now understand the magical capacity of the armor. It is full plate. It gives +3 to AC. As an action,
Hi.
you may press your hand to the center cog and twist it. Twisting it once casts haste. Then you may use your hasted action or your action on your next turn to twist it again to cast Enlarge on yourself. While this armor is on, you have resistance to cold damage, resistance to thunder damage, resistance to force damage, and immunity to fire damage. You may also swim in lava as if you are an aquatic creature in water. Upon reaching 0 HP, you may use your reaction to perform a fiery concave. Doing so instantly kills you and destroys the armor, but deals 60 d10 damage to everything within 10 feet, 40 d10 damage to everything within 20 feet, and for every 30 feet thereafter, it goes down by 1 set of 10. So if this goes off in the middle of an army,
It's a fucking nuke.
it's a literal self-nuke.
It's a nuclear
I will tell. I'll tell.
weapon. Tell everyone.
Tell
Especially Hecaton. If they've got any way of getting the armor away from him before slaying him.
They're gonna fucking Thanos him, basically.
If they can,
It's straight up gonna, like, they will explain their plan to you. They're gonna straight up Thanos him. Harshnag's grabbing his legs, Hecaton's grabbing his arms, and people are just gonna start ripping the armor off of him. The other giants that are present are going to try to tear the armor off of him.
Yeah.
There is a new effect to the spell, to the armor. The twisted amalgamations of the Lord of the 8th level. Being denied the Fire Titan's soul and body as he sent Drow to the city of Gauntlgrim, Zalto made a deal with monsters of the 8th level of Hell. In doing so, the shattered remains of a Baelor was put within his suit of armor in his chest, amplifying his physical capabilities. This has also warped his mind and body. Zalto now has horns, adorned in a similar way as would a great satyr or ram. However, if someone could physically get within the 5-foot space on Zalto's chest of the armor and remove the Baelor, Zalto would be stunned for 3 rounds. However, it would be as if you walked in lava to reach into his chest.
If only you knew someone who was immune to fire.
Fire and lava are different.
No, lava is fire damage.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's why fire giants and devils can literally swim in lava in the hells, or have no issue with the hells heat.
Either way, we're not going to be fighting them. That's the problem.
You do have one other person who's immune to fire.
Oh.
A certain Legion? No.
Someone who can also fly.
Someone who has a very particular grudge with this individual.
Also fucking hates him, yeah.
And who will definitely be going for his throat, but now may go for his heart. Do you give this information to Hecaton and the others of the Baelor?
Yes.
Okay.
Quit it.
The battle plans on their side may have changed. You do not know. In regards to searching legend lore on Imrith, anything in the last 1,000 years you cannot scry upon, you do not discover. But prior to this, you learn of the legend of the daughter of giants. Called so, for she was the last child born of the first ever blue dragon, the spawn of Tiamat itself. She is the last scion of his line. Her and her 4 brothers, along with her, were sent to face Hecaton long ago, to slay him in battle. But there was a brief truce between Bahamut's kin and that. And whilst Tiamat had 5 great children, so too did Bahamut. Bahamut sent his 5 children, those who still lived, 1 bronze, 1 gold, and 1 silver, went and faced. The bronze and the gold both survived the encounter, but the silver was slain. Doing so, however, the silver did rip the throat from the last scion of the blue dragons, whose name has now since passed into legacy. There, the skulls of her father and brothers now adorn the Wormskull throne. She has sworn vengeance, but the next 1,000 years of her story, aside from what you already know, are gone. What you do know, during, as you scried as well on the sword, during this time prior to the destruction of her father. She had, in the guise of a human, made deals with elves and dwarves, and the greatest arcanisms of man, entered an ancient forge that could craft any magical item, and in doing so, forged Inazuma, a weapon that could drain the sheer soul of a dragon. This weapon was offered to giants, and the giants took it gladly. You know not which of their champions of the time took the blade, but they cut down many dragons. However, when their power grew, so too did their bloodlust, not just for dragons, but for giants too. And they turned on their own kin. Which is why now, should the words of the blade be ever spoken, giants nearby could be sent into a rage, an uncontrolled frenzy. But Inazuma, Blade of the Desert, after that, fade into history. Right up until you picked it up from the trove of Venomfang. And since the Eye of Anam, after that, the legend of the blade ends. You know not where it is.
Can we real quick just do like a Thor thing, where, Kay, it's open a gate of some sort and, makes a forge and makes a new weapon, or
there is a forge very close to Phandalin.
I was we were just talking about that!
That when you used your legend lore.
It's called the Fortress of... Yeah!
When you two held hands for the first time, it was cool. It was cute.
It was
Look,
gay.
I was very proud of that.
But more important than that,
I used my magic thinking brain to make things work. I was very proud of that interaction.
Where the fuck is my lore on the Forge of Spells?
It's
Where is
The
it?
Forge of Souls.
It's in the Lost
Forge of
Mines.
Souls. Yeah, that's why.
It's in the Wave Echo Cave.
It's in the Wave Echo Cave.
Yeah.
But where is my lore on it?
Remember to stop at Gaunty, everyone. Shall we close the stream there?
Are we good?
I had that shit
I will be
in my
looking-
head for so long.
I will be looking for this lore for about 10 years. So
Especially about the Tyrant's Plate, the Black Suit. It's otherwise called. Its true name is the Black Suit, but it's also known as the Tyrant Plate. Needless to say, Zalto went and got buffed. Didn't fucking need it, but he went and got buffed. Now picture what would happen if you had allowed the Magmar, the Dawn Titan's soul, to have been captured by those drow, and Zalto had put that in his damn chest instead.
Bad.
There.
Bad.
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 That would literally just be taking their stat blocks and going mush.
Found it.
I'm just picturing Glory in a pile of notes. Found
Yeah,
it.
glory in a pile of pages.
That's me right now. Unfortunately, past me was fucking unhelpful. Fandelfar, Forge of Spells? ? Craft shit. Dwarves and gnomes share Wave Echo Cave. Magical power. Human spellcasters turned the power into the forge. Near Phandalin when the orcs then wrecked everything. And that's what I have written down about it.
It's where we found your dragon armor.
Where the spectator was.
In where the spectator
Half
was,
gold,
yes.
half silver.
Yes.
Yep.
And where the two weapons were joined.
Yes.
Yeah.
To Golai Tori into the Dawnbreaker.
Hell yeah,
Light
boys.
breaker.
Close enough. Wait, go back. It was just there.
Okay. Oh,
It was the Dawnbringer and Backbreaker, so I'm pretty sure it was the Dawnbreaker is what we named it.
Every single time I've written Forge of Spells instead of Forge of Souls. There's an
Forge of
enchanting
Souls sounds
forge.
more epic. I'm
Got
calling
it.
it that now.
That was a good dungeon back
Enchanting forge.
That was the dungeon.
back in Ice
It's
Crown.
now been cleared out. Yeah, it was the one in Icecrown as well. But it's the dungeon that you guys went into, where you fought the spectator, the spectre. That was just like, "Are you many methods?"
I
we didn't
remember
really
that.
fight him.
Bye-bye.
I remember.
You're gonna end the stream. I'm assuming you've ended the stream.
Yeah.
Like.
I haven't actually, so we'll sign.
You know
off.
what? This is so much lore shit that I don't mind because this is just a bleh for people.
We can sign off because it is past our cut-off point because we said we
Yeah.
I will say this though,
tired.
just for the sake of it, because I might need people to read this as a summary, so I could just direct them to this part of the video. The party moved towards the deserts in the far east of the world to fight the armies of Imrith to stop the apocalypse of allowing the Tarask, the Devourer, to re-enter the world. To face off against the ancient rival now of the party, Fire Duke Zelto, the traitor Duke, and against his warforged army. Who knows how the forces will be aligned together to defeat them. But as you all arrive, you feel a familiar sense, quite close to the western border of the desert. You see a stout form, with a long billowing cloak, with a crown upon his head. A long, thick, brown beard, and half his face turned white. Ravs will be joining us for next week's session.
Oh my god!
Oh my god, yes!
I just finally got his confirmation that he's good for next week.
Nice.
Yes!
There we go.
Ravs,
Oh my god, the busy with the white wife!
Please tell
No.
me he caught up with Ia. Please tell me that he caught up with the fellow cleric of...
We'll find out. We'll find
We're
out
gonna
next
find
week.
out next
Well,
week.
why not?
I need
We're
to
gonna
know
go.
this.
I'm cutting off the
Next
stream.
week.
We'll find out next week. See you next time, guys. Take care. Bye
See
bye.
you guys.